Hey guys, Nick Campanella here, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to finance a Grail watch responsibly. As you can see, I am wearing my lovely girlfriend's hat. I'm having a bit of a bad hair day, so bear with me here. It was something I really wanted to discuss based on some information that I got yesterday. But yeah. As always, I really appreciate you guys giving this a listen. Anyway, so welcome back to the channel. If you're like me, you know the feeling. Getting a watch that's you just really wanted for a long time. And that has been living rent-free in your mind. That Grail watch. Here's the thing, though. Buying them correctly is just as important as owning them. Today, I'm going to break down how to finance your Grail watch responsibly so you can own it with zero regret and full pride. Stick around because I'm going to be sharing some of my best tips and a few mistakes to avoid so that you don't end up drowning in debt when you're owning your watch. First question to ask, what is a Grail watch? It's that one piece that you dream about. Maybe it's a vintage Daytona. Maybe it's an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. It's the mountaintop piece. That one that makes a whole collection feel complete. Now, let's get real. Financing a luxury watch without a plan can wreck your finances. You're not just buying a watch, you're buying monthly payments, interest rates, and pressure. And when that pressure kicks in, trust me when I say this, won't feel nearly as good anymore to own that watch. So I wanted to create this video so that the people that I work with can enjoy luxury watches without feeling the burden financially of having a piece like that in their collection. I think at the end of the day, the way to own a luxury watch is free and clear. You want to be proud of it. You don't want to have it tie you down financially. I love selling watches to you guys. I love collecting watches. But from a moral standpoint, at least for me, I cannot continue to sell watches unless I feel that my clients and my audience base is properly informed. So this is how you do it right. Number one, can you afford the watch without stress? Or is a few bad months of income, would that make it impossible to have that watch in your possession? If that's the case, then you're not ready yet. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Things that I want to have when I'm buying that very fancy Grail piece, or any piece really that I really like, that it might be a stretch for me. I want to have an emergency fund in place. I want to have no high interest debt. And I want to have a strong credit score. And those three things are going to make it a lot easier mentally to afford that stretch piece. Again, I love watches, and I think they're great. I think they're awesome stores of value, but they are not investments. And so for those people that are saying, hey, yes, they're investments, they're just trying to take your money. So the reason why I'm making this video is I want to make sure that if you do decide to finance your watch, you do so correctly. And doing so correctly shows that you're disciplined enough for the responsibility of owning that Grail. Let's talk some financing options. Personal loans. Those I like because they're usually like with a friend. I have an associate of mine whose friend purchased an Explorer from us, and he's paying that friend of his in monthly installments. When something like that happens, I always recommend get a contract in place. We at Taylor Timepieces always offer contracts. And I think that personal loans are great because they're predictable in payments. And you just have to make sure that you check that interest rate. You have to make sure that if you're dealing with a friend of yours, that obviously it's not something that affects your friendship, and you want to make sure that you can very clearly and consistently make those purchases and make those payments every month, every week, whatever you and that associate decides. Now, you have things like in-house financing. Some dealers offer 0%. We have been known to do that in the past. However, it is on a case-by-case basis. And we always keep the watch prior to that income being paid off, or prior to that loan being paid off. We're working with a gentleman right now that was in the military, and we have some empathy for him. He lost a lot of his collection, due to when he came back to the States. He had expenses that he was not sure about. He had certain things that he had to pay off. Obviously, you get back, you become a civilian again, and you have to adapt to this lifestyle. And he was telling me that he really had sold a lot of his collection in order to get back on his feet and adapt and get back into civilian life. So in that case, we were able to help him out with 0% financing, in-house financing on that. Again, it's not something we do all the time, and it does incur contracts, but if it's something that you're interested in, please give us a call, and we can see if maybe we can work with you on that. Credit cards are another way that is a great way to pay off that Grail. We use a platform called Stripe. If any of you guys are familiar with it, Stripe is a great way to make that purchase. Depending on the price of the item, we will either incur that fee of about 3-4%, or we pass that along to you guys. And it's just something, again, if you have a bad credit score, if you're bad at paying off your debt, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you were unaware that, a company like ours accepts credit, I'm here to tell you that we do. And we really appreciate, the opportunity to serve you guys in that way. Now, financing is one thing. Smart financing is another. Pro tips for financing smart would be things like putting down a down payment, honestly, as big as you can. You would never, it's kind of like a credit card. You never want to pay the minimum balance. If you're going to buy something that is a luxury, as much as I love watches, they are a luxury, put down as much as you can up front. Please, I want to service you guys, and I want to work with you guys as much as I can, and continue to sell you guys watches week after week, month after month, and year after year. But in order to do that, you need to be responsible with your finances. So please pay off as much as you can in the beginning, and choose the shortest term you can afford. Obviously, if you tell me, hey, Nick, I need 2 weeks to pay off this item, we're much more willing to work with you than someone who says, hey, I need 6 months to pay off this item. Again, the flip side of that is you want to keep payments low enough that it feels easy and not tight. I mean, again, I'm not going to tell you, hey, don't go out to dinner with your partner. Don't go out and buy that new outfit because you bought yourself a watch. I'm just trying to avoid situations that we've had in the past where clients are like, hey, I have $20,000 in my account and I want to buy a Skydweller for $19,000. Again, I would love to sell you that piece, but ethically it is tough for us as dealers, as it should be for most dealers. Honestly, what I would say is this, is if the person you are working with is not willing to turn away from a deal that is not, I don't want to say beneficial to you, but yeah, it's basically beneficial to them, but hurts you, then maybe that's not someone you want to build a long-term relationship with. And again, you don't have to finance the watch. I'm just sharing with you guys strategies that I have used in the past to build my personal collection. Also, strategies that you guys might not be aware that we employ in our business to make sure that you can get the watch in a fast and efficient way, even if you might not have cash on hand. Again, a great way to make sure that you can afford that Grail is to sell your current collection. Maybe you have a few pieces that you don't wear anymore. We do trades. Tailored Timepieces is great for trades. And that's something that we can, if you want to give us a call, we can discuss that. Again, you can start a side hustle. It's just, there are other creative ways to fund your watch without putting yourself under debt and without putting yourself rather under pressure and in debt. I never want to do that to any of my clients. I want to share as much as I can watch-wise, and I want you guys to enjoy as many watches as you can, but I want to do so. I want to make sure that you do so responsibly, so that's why I'm making a video like this. And once you can finally get your Grail, you're going to love it. But please, insure it, store it properly, service it when needed. Owning a Grail, in my view, it's a responsibility. And that's what makes it a Grail. It's something that you can't easily get. It's something you have to work for. So treat it like that and enjoy it, but make sure that you wear it well, wear it in good health, and do what you need to do. Again, on an end note, there's nothing wrong with financing a Grail watch. Nothing wrong with financing any watch. But it's important to have a plan in place. It's important to know how you're going to finance it, and that makes all the difference. Plan smart, stay and when the dream watch finally comes, remind yourself that you've earned it. And if you do choose us to work with you, I would love to be a part of that process. Thanks for watching. And if you found any of this helpful, please click that like button and subscribe for more. Check us out on tailoredtimepieces.com and let me know if you've acquired your Grail watch in the comments. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.